Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, March 12th. Well, another intense ocean storm will develop over the next couple of days. Its biggest impact will be along the New England coastline over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. There can be some snow in the D.C. metro region later today and especially tonight on the eastern side of I-95. Certainly some accumulations possible in the Philadelphia and New York City areas overnight tonight, going into early tomorrow. But again, the biggest impact from this upcoming event looks like it'll be in the southern and eastern parts of New England all the way up to Maine. They could get 8 to 12 inches of snow in some areas again as this will unfold into another intense storm, the third in the last 10 days or so. And it's certainly not unprecedented. We've had 3 big nor'easters in a week or 10-day period many times in the past. For example, January 1978 saw 3 big nor'easters. I remember it clearly because I was at Penn State at the time, and we got hit hard by all 3 storms. By the end of the week, we had more than 3 feet of snow on the ground. Here's the latest radar loop. There are some snow showers mixed with rain just to the southwest of D.C., and some of those certainly can make it into the D.C. metro region during the midday and afternoon hours. However, there's a tendency for this to weaken as it moves to the north and east, because basically this area is going to transfer some energy to the Carolina coastline, and this is where the low pressure area will start to intensify later today and then push off the New Jersey coastline by early tomorrow and just off the New England coastline by late in the day tomorrow. So again, this area of precipitation will tend to weaken over the next couple of hours. There can be some rain or snow shower activity in the D.C. metro region, but again, it doesn't look as impressive as you might seem by looking at the radar because it'll weaken as this area of low pressure takes over the next few hours. By the end of the afternoon, snow could break out across eastern Pennsylvania. And again, the timing is pretty good for some accumulations in Philadelphia and New York City because the best chance for snow will be overnight tonight. This time of the year, we're getting into the middle part of March. Daytime snow is quite difficult to cause accumulations, and that also is a problem in the D.C. metro region. But tonight, there should be some snow from Philly to New York City, maybe even down on the eastern side of 95 in the D.C. metro region, places like Crofton, Annapolis, those areas, certainly over the Delmarva Peninsula, can get into some of the action tonight as that storm starts to intensify off to the northeast. Well, let's take a look at last night's NAM model. This is the 12-kilometer version, a high-resolution NAM model. This is the 6Z forecast, and we'll just kind of walk through this, looking at the surface forecast, and then we'll take a look at the upper air pattern, because there's not only this of interest, but there's a system coming for the middle of the week that could cause some snow squalls north of the Mason-Dixon line. But let's walk through this right now. We have developing low pressure off the Carolina coastline. And again, there's this initial wave causing some good snows across West Virginia and Western Virginia, but that'll tend to weaken as it moves to the towards the D.C. metro region. Been the pattern all winter for D.C. Basically, they get very little snow out of these systems. And let's keep just moving forward here, and we'll go 1 hour at a time here. And again, notice this area not really advancing too much as it tends to weaken. This area will transfer energy to the Carolina storm here by later today into the mid and late afternoon hours now. Notice some snow starting to break out across eastern Pennsylvania. D.C. in the gap. That's been the story all winter. Again, the transfer of energy from the Appalachian low to the ocean low here during the next few hours. Then the snow starts to break out, and indeed there can be some snow early tonight in the D.C. metro region from I-95 east. Again, places like Anne Arundel County, for example, Crofton, Annapolis can get some snow. And that, of course, is the best time for any accumulations, nighttime hours during the middle part of March. So there can be some small accumulations from D.C. east early tonight, and especially across Philadelphia and New York City. There certainly can be 1 to perhaps as much as 3 inches of snow, even down by the coastline. Again, the biggest impact here, notice the storm is a little bit farther to the east compared to prior ocean storms here, not quite tucked in along the coastline here, but now this is early tomorrow. Can be some slippery spots in the Philadelphia, New York City metro regions for that morning commute, because the snow will continue into the early morning hours on Tuesday, and then it rides up to the northeast and causes some significant snow across eastern Massachusetts and eastern Maine, down the southern and eastern portions of Maine by later tomorrow into tomorrow night. So the biggest impact from this storm looks like it'll be in New England, across southern and eastern part of New England. Some accumulating snow tonight, especially Philadelphia and New York City, perhaps even down to the eastern half of D.C. They'll see some snow shower activity early tonight with maybe some minor accumulations there. And now let's take a look at the upper level pattern. Well, let's just walk through. Again, this is a 6Z version of the NAM model, 12-kilometer NAM model. And here's that impressive wave down over the southern part of the Appalachians right now. And as we move forward, it will slide to the east. Again, all of this is being forced to stay down to the south and east because of that high latitude blocking up to the north here over northern Canada. And here by this evening, that slides off the Carolina coastline. Significant intensification will take place at this time from the position now off the Carolina coast to sliding northeastward to a position off the Jersey coastline by early tomorrow. Again, that'll be an intense storm. Notice a negatively tilted upper level axis here by later on tonight, and again, that promotes strong upward motion in this portion of the upper level trough. So certainly it'll turn out to be a very strong storm here. And here we go by tomorrow morning. Snow continuing perhaps into the early morning hours in Philadelphia and New York City. So again, it could cause some slippery spots. I'm thinking 1 to 3 inches from Philly to New York City. Maybe a small accumulation on the eastern side of D.C. Tonight as that storm moves to the north and east. And then it just basically sits and spins here for another 24 hours, causing some instability here. Then just want to point out here, as we move into the morning hours on Wednesday, notice this upper level wave right here dropping southeastward pretty rapidly. And here we go by late in the day on Wednesday. That is starting to slide into the eastern part of the Great Lakes, and this very well could set off some snow showers during the PM hours on Wednesday into Wednesday night, especially north of the Mason-Dixon line, and it can even produce perhaps a heavier snow squall or two. We'll monitor that over the next couple of days. But for this current system, big intensification will take place from this Carolina storm as it moves to the east of New Jersey and then to the east of New England. Again, the biggest impact will be in eastern New England over the next 24 to 36 hours or so. There can be some accumulating snow tonight in Philadelphia, New York City, perhaps even some slippery spots for the early morning commute on Tuesday. Maybe even a little bit of snow tonight on the eastern half of D.C. PG County, and certainly Anne Arundel County has a shot at some of that snow. Maybe some small accumulations down there, 1 to 3 inches in Philadelphia and New York City. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist